As I breathe in possibility. And I breathe out the perfection of my life. I know that at any moment I have a choice. I can put myself in bondage, or I can make choices that allow freedom to give me wings. I can constrain myself by making choices that don't serve me. But I always have the choice to walk the path of freedom and love. I may falter at times, and maybe take a path that doesn't serve me, but I know that there is another path right ahead that I can walk and know that it is the right path for me. And I know that I can make this choice of love. Because love opens me up, it opens my heart and makes me a willing candidate to be this emissary of freedom. Because if I choose hate or disgust, then I am frozen to one spot. And there is nowhere for me to go. So life is about choices. And life is about love. And if by chance that no one has told you that they love you today, I would be honored to be the first to say, I love you today. I love you because you are and have been so willing to grow. And my, how you have grown. You've grown from struggling to searching, from trying to learning how to do it. You have grown from fear to having faith, to demonstrating courage. You have grown in so many ways, consistently demonstrating your willingness and your courage to take the next step. The step toward that profound and divine wisdom buried within yourself. The step toward knowing more about yourself. And this is exactly why I love you, because you are so profoundly divine. Growth is a very profound experience. It gives you wings. It can be beautiful and it can be ugly. It can be empowering and confining, thought-provoking and mind-boggling, pleasant and unpleasant, all at the same time. When you think that you've got it, life seems to say, well, now take this. And you do. Then the minute you are ready to throw your hands up and maybe give up for doing the same thing in the same way and ending up in the same place again, you realize you haven't done so badly at all. You know you have grown when you can meet a challenge, an obstacle, or a difficulty without losing it. Somehow, some way, in the growth process, you have come upon the understanding that the more you grow, the more you know, the more you are encouraged to grow and know. There is so much waiting for you to unfold. And there is more about the world you desire to understand. There is so much well-being, peace, and joy waiting for you. And because I love you, I want the very best for you. I want you to know that you have this choice of love, this choice of freedom to move forward, to grow, to become more of who you are. have those wings to fly across and past and transcend any challenge or obstacle in your life. Because you have worked so hard. You have become this divine creature, this divine expression of God. You have made the choice to move forward. And I love you for this. So in this moment, congratulate yourself. Celebrate who you are. This beautiful creation. This creation has encouraged yourself to grow and grow. To love, to be. This divine expression. So right now, I simply want you to take a breath in and breathe out and feel that breath flow through your body. That effervescent beauty of who you are. That breath of God breathing you into existence. Into choice, into growth, into freedom. And so it is.
real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
This is Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation. Before we begin this celebration service, let's all join in and sing our opening song together.
Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Name your price, ticket to paradise. I can't take it anymore. I've looked high and low. I've been short to shore to shore. If there's a shortcut, I'd have found it. But there's no easy way around it. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. When you feel afraid, love one another. When you've lost your way, love one another. When you're all alone, love one another. When you're far from home, love. We got to love. We got to love. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer.
What a glorious Sunday morning. I'm Debbie Little, a licensed practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, and it is my pleasure to be here with you as we experience this uplifting celebration service together. Throughout this service, if you feel a need for prayer, a prayer and a blessing for you, a family member, or a friend, then please go to our website and select our prayer request. Know that licensed spiritual practitioners are deeply committed to supporting you through prayer. 2 practitioners are providing spiritual support right now. We thank Judy Poteet and Lynn Frankenberger for holding high watch for each one of us today. And now, let us take a moment to consider this week's affirmation. You may wish to jot it down or take a picture of it and keep it with you as a source of inspiration throughout the week. I'll read the affirmation and then we'll enter into contemplation together, after which I will give the invocation. The more I honor others, the more freedom my community experiences. The more I honor others, the more freedom my community experiences.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go.
In this moment, I take a gentle breath in and breathe out, just feeling that ease and flow of the breath moving through me, knowing that where I stand is peace, and I aligned myself to that sense of peace. The music playing, the energy, that feeling of community and freedom and love. We can each make a choice at this moment to be totally present, to be right here, right now. So I filled with this sense of gratitude to be part of this prayer, to be part of this community, to celebrate together, to come together as one. So I simply say thank you, knowing that God is right where we are, right in this moment. And so it is.
Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Let me be a candle, let me be a radiant star, let me be a beacon shine in who you are. Let me be the miracle I've been dreaming of. Let me be a lantern of your love. Shine through me, shine through me. Let the light within me help this troubled world to see. Shine through me, shine through me. Use this willing vessel, Holy Spirit, shine through me. If a friend grows weary, I'll come and take their part. If a child is hungry, I'll give out of my heart. In the darkest hour, I will lend a light from above. I will be a lantern of your love. Shine through me, shine through me. Let the light within me help this troubled world to see. Shine through me, shine through me. Use this willing vessel, Holy Spirit, shine through me, shine through me, shine through me. Holy Spirit, shine through me.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday morning gathering. My name is Reverend Laura Hallett, and I'm pleased to serve as the spiritual leader here at Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. For those of you who are joining us here this morning, thank you for being with us live. Take a moment and check in on the chat and let us know that you're here. And for those of you that are viewing us later on, we are so delighted that you have taken this time to join us in community. We know that our beloved community exists outside of the confines of time and space. So whenever or however you choose to join us is absolutely perfect, and we are so delighted to have you with us. I'd like to send out a little gratitude this morning to the members of our Leadership Council. These beloveds, Sheila Callum, our president, Fraisine Jasper, our vice president, Fran Peterson, our treasurer, Merlon Hart, our secretary, and Karen Dunphy, a member, for all of the amazing work that they do for our community. Not only what they do to maintain the community, to keep it going, but to lead it into its next incarnation, into our next new way of being as this beloved community of Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you all for what you do. Our theme for 2020 is building a community. And for January, we are focusing on ideas around freedom. And we're anchoring this idea of freedom in the spiritual principle of the month, taken from our Science of Mind textbook, written by our founder, Ernest Holmes. It's right at the very beginning of the book. He says, "The divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul, and all instinctively feel this. The truth points to freedom under law. Thus, our inherent nature is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. We would do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves." So far this month, we've talked about freedom as an individual concept. Last week, we focused on freedom in our relationships. And today, we're talking about experiencing freedom collectively as the beloved community. This weekend happens to be a celebration of the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. And Dr. King is most noted for creating this idea of beloved community. The term beloved community is first attributed to the philosopher and theologian Josiah Royce, who founded the Fellowship of Reconciliation in the early 1900s. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a member of this fellowship, and he adopted the idea, the core value of the Fellowship of Reconciliation, as the beloved community for his vision. On the King Center website, it describes the beloved community this way. Dr. King's beloved community is a global vision in which all people can share in the wealth of the earth. In the beloved community, poverty, hunger, and homelessness will not be tolerated because international standards of human decency will not allow it. Racism and all forms of discrimination, bigotry, and prejudice will be replaced by an all-inclusive spirit of sisterhood and brotherhood. The beloved community, this idea that Dr. King brought forth, is a place where people meet to seek the highest and greatest good for everyone. It is a place where people are free to express themselves in their own unique and authentic ways. And it is a place where we seek to understand each other rather than to focus on and find all of our differences. Historically, differences have been used to separate, to point out how others are not like ourselves, and to create a certain power structure. If we can point out how someone is different than us, then it's easy to go to someone is less than us. And if they're less than us, then we must be over them. And so it creates this whole power structure that has perpetuated throughout all of history. I believe that we gain true freedom to be our authentic expression when we unite with others in spite of our differences. The noted author Bell Hooks, in her book Killing Rage, puts it this way: beloved community is formed not by the eradication of difference, but by its affirmation. By each of us claiming the identities and the cultural legacies that shape who we are and how we live in the world. This beloved community that I'm speaking of here today is not some utopian commune where we all live together and isolate ourselves from the rest of the world. That's been tried many, many, many times in many, many different ways with varying degrees of success and failure. The beloved community that we're speaking of is a community of people who come together under a united vision with a willingness to take action where it's needed. In 1876, Felix Adler developed something very similar to the beloved community. He called it the ethical culture. And he said that there were two important ideas for ethical culture communities. The first one is a vision of how to live differently, and secondly, a willingness to practice that vision in our own life. Reflection and action. Vision and commitment. We must be willing to take action on that which has been revealed to us to do. Or, as we like to say here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we need to treat and move our feet. We need both things for change to happen. It says this on the Ethical Culture website: action without reflection is potentially a nightmare. Reflection without action is potentially a daydream. We need, instead, active reflection and reflective action. We need to pair them as partners. It takes both to move us forward. It takes a willingness to see what needs to be changed, or the vision to see what needs to be changed, and the willingness to actually make the changes. And in order to create the beloved community and achieve this true freedom for all, we must be willing to make changes. The movement led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and so many other amazing leaders is all about change through nonviolence. One of their main focuses was changing laws that were unjust. And our world has moved forward in so many ways because of changes to those laws. The laws were changed because it was the right and proper thing for them to be changed. The standards of human decency would no longer allow them to exist. These laws were unjust, they were discriminatory, and often they were life-threatening. The laws were changed. But the mindset, the belief systems, and the fears that ran rampant in many people did not change. And I believe that this is the very thing that has caused most of the divisiveness that we have experienced in the last decade. Certainly most of the divisiveness that has happened here in our own country. Our country ended slavery with the Civil War, but it didn't change the mindset of many of the people who were benefiting from the horrors of slavery. The laws changed, but the oppression has continued for almost 150 years. Because the mindset of many people involved in this situation has not changed. Laws have been changed about all kinds of things: gender equality, marriage equality, civil rights, and privileges of many different kinds of people. But the mindset that created those laws in the first place, well, a lot of it is still out there. And so oftentimes, even though the law has been changed, the oppression still continues. The standards of human decency haven't quite caught up with the laws. So Dr. King advocated building the beloved community through a practice of nonviolence. The beloved community was for him a realistic, achievable goal that could be attained by a critical mass of people committed to and trained in the philosophy and the methods of nonviolence. That's from the King Center website. He believed that this critical mass of people that he speaks of was needed before the mindset changed enough for true change to happen. The laws could get adjusted, but we needed that critical mass of people before the mindset starts to change. Dr. King believed that this was achieved through the practice of nonviolence. And so he studied Mahatma Gandhi's method of nonviolence, which has 6 core principles. The first principle is nonviolence is a way of life for courageous people. It is an act of courage to nonviolently resist evil. Nonviolence seeks to win friendship and understanding. The end product of nonviolence is redemption and reconciliation. It is what we get when we seek to understand instead of find differences. Nonviolence seeks to defeat injustice, not people. As we're practicing nonviolence, we recognize that the people that have done us wrong, or the people that we might call evil, are also victims. We're not about defeating the people. We're about defeating the injustice. Nonviolence holds that suffering can educate and transform. Nonviolence willingly accepts the consequences of its acts, and it uses those consequences to educate and to transform. Nonviolence chooses love instead of hate. Nonviolence resists violence to the spirit as well as to the body. Nonviolent love is active, not passive. And it doesn't sink to the level of the hater. Love restores community and resists injustice. Nonviolence recognizes the fact that all of life is interrelated. And finally, nonviolence believes that the universe is on the side of justice. Those who practice nonviolence have a deep and abiding faith that justice will eventually win. Dr. King believed that the core value necessary for creating a beloved community is love. And he used the Greeks' way of speaking about a certain kind of love. So the Greeks had three main forms of love. They had eros, which is the romantic love. They had philia, which is affection between friends. And then they had agape. Agape love is described as understanding and redeeming goodwill for all. It's an overflowing love which is purely spontaneous and unmotivated and very creative. The love of God operating in the human heart is agape love. Dr. King said, agape does not begin by discriminating between worthy and unworthy people. It begins by loving others for their sakes and makes no distinction between a friend and an enemy. It is directed toward both. Agape love is seeking to preserve and create community. Agape love is the root of the beloved community. And nonviolence is rooted in this form of love. Now, it can by some be mistaken for passivity, for letting people walk all over us, for pushing us aside, trampling on our needs and our rights and our desires. Nonviolence is not about avoiding this kind of stuff. Nonviolence is not about avoiding conflict. Nonviolence is not non-conflict. Conflict is necessary for change. Without conflict, there is no motivation for change. After all, if everything's just going along peacefully for everybody, there's no conflict. Building a community, even a beloved community, creates conflict. There are all kinds of decisions to be made about all manner of things in which many people hold strong opinions, desires, and needs. I find that oftentimes that we think we know how something should be, a certain way that it should be, and the way it makes total and logical sense in our minds. And then when we share it with others, we're met with a lot of opposition. Even when we think we're being rational and well-meaning people, what we think or how we think something should be is often quite different from what other people think it should be. And I actually find that quite shocking at times. It's not that I'm secure in my rightness, but it just seems like it makes such sense to me. So how could it be so different for someone else? All of this idea of what should be for each person creates a degree of conflict in our lives. But we can't have conflict without change. Change can be uncomfortable. Change can cause a disruption in the status quo, in the lives of all the individuals involved. But honestly, there can be no forward movement, no shifting of conditions without the willingness to change. We've seen that happening in our own individual lives. We see it happening in our relationships. And the same thing is happening in the communities that we have. Without a willingness to change, there can be no forward movement. It is very, very important for us to begin to get comfortable with change. And more importantly, to be in the discomfort, as long as we need to be, with these shifting conditions until the change actually takes hold. Afeni Sakur, an American activist, puts it this way: you can't change anything without causing some degree of disruption. It's impossible. That's exactly what change is. Some people are uncomfortable with the disruption that change causes. But the disruption is necessary if anything is going to change. Here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we say it this way: change is the nature of creation. In order to create, we must change. And so to create the beloved community, to create an ethical culture, we have to change. We have to use our practices of meditation, contemplation, and visioning to discern what change is needed, what that change might look like, and more importantly, what is mine to do in the process of this creation of something new. And then we have to be willing to take action on what has been revealed. Reflection and action. Discernment and movement. Change is the nature of creation. Where am I being called to change? And where am I being called to love? Let's take this into prayer. And so taking a moment and just turning within to that place of peace within my being. That place where I feel connected. That place from which I am sourced. I know that there's only one thing here. There ever is only one. I know that is the power and the presence and the action and the activity of that divine, creative, loving intelligence that has brought everything into existence. The isness and the allness and the fullness of all life abides within that one. There is no separation from it. For each one of us is that unique manifestation of it. We are created in the perfection and the wholeness of the divine. It is animating our lives. It is living itself through us in all that we are and all that we do. And so knowing this truth, I open myself up to a greater expression of that divine love, that agape love, that love that creates the beloved community. I allow it to grow within me, to pour forth from me, to show up in all of my relations, all of my interactions, throughout all the day. I know that there is a willingness within me to be that beloved community. And I feel that very same willingness within all of the members of Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas. I know that each one of us has been placed here perfectly, uniquely, and divinely to do the work that we are called to do. And I know it is through deep listening and discernment that work is revealed. And I know that each one of us has within us the ability to take action upon that which has been revealed, that is uniquely ours to do. And I know that all of this action, all of this contemplation, all of this agape love is a blessing to our entire community. And I just give great thanks for it. Knowing it is showing up perfectly, I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Here at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, oh bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Yes, I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, oh bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. And all of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Ooh, yes, it's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day.
We thank our musical guests that inspire and uplift us each week with their talent. And we also thank you for your generous gift and support of our center. We remain committed to serving you. Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas, continues to provide enriching services, transformative classes, and powerful opportunities for connection within our community. Be sure to watch the announcements at the end of today's service for what's coming up in the weeks ahead. Now, let's join together in a closing song before our benediction.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Oh, use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
So just a couple of brief announcements before we finish out our time together. Next Sunday, on the 22nd at 12:30 p.m., we will be holding our new member orientation For those of you that have expressed interest in finding out what it means to be a member, a more committed member of our organization, please consider joining us there. If you haven't registered yet, please do so by going to the website. And there's registration links right there on the first page. So go ahead and get yourself registered, and you'll be sent all the pertinent information about this opportunity we have for a new member to join us. So on the 29th, Sunday the 29th, Kelly Marshall will be holding her Vision Board workshop. It starts at 1 p.m. It's at the Enterprise Library on South Las Vegas Boulevard. This is a great opportunity to give yourself some time to make a visual representation of the intentions that you have set for yourself for this year and what you're wanting to bring forth into actuality as you move through 2023. So I encourage you to sign up for Kelly's workshop on our website. We have a couple of sacred circles that are starting to be active again. Practitioner Justin Vogel is leading the second in a series of book studies on the work of Joel Goldsmith. This time they're looking at The Infinite Way, the book itself called The Infinite Way. This starts on Tuesday, the 17th at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. You need to register on the website so that you'll receive the link for that as well. I'm starting a new book study in February, starting on February 1st. It's going to be on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. And I'm using the book, it's a brand new book by Mark Nepo called Surviving Storms. It's the latest book that he has written, and it's a guide to resilience. As we move through this interesting period of the last 3 years that our world has been through, we find that we desperately need for ourselves and for our communities something to act as an antidote to discouragement and a call to persevere and move through this stuff. This book is about finding resilience through heart-centered work as we move through the ever-changing world around us. I'm excited about it. I've read it already. I think it's a phenomenal work. I love Mark Nepo's work anyway. And so to find a new book from his that is so timely and so appropriate for what we're moving through in our world is just a great opportunity. So I encourage you to join me for that. The sign-up sheet is not yet on the website, but it will be there in the next couple of days. So keep an eye out for that information. And again, it's on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. on Zoom. We also are happy to announce that our annual meeting will be on Sunday, February 26th. Again, it will be held online through our Zoom platform. We will send members a link to that. Anybody that attends will need to have a link before they can get into it. And so we will give you all of that information. This is an opportunity for our community to find out what's happening in all of the different plans that we have going on. We'll give you an update on the building and what's happening with it, and our financial status, and all of the things that we have planned for the upcoming year. So those of you that are members, we please encourage you to join with us and see us on February 26th. I encourage you to have a wonderful and blessed week. Look for the ways that you can be that place of agape love, that place of openness and compassion. Look for the ways that we're similar instead of different. Look for the ways that we can be the beloved community. Have a beautiful and blessed week, everyone. We'll see you next week.
The monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details.
it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura. Keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real, keeping it real with Reverend Laura.
CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with Spiritual Soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.